Okay, welcome back. Now, this week, our concentration is strengthening our connection with God. And I'm going to teach you something that I do that has been very effective for me in strengthening that connection. It is called the God Walk. Now, I know that you may have never heard that before, but it's called the God Walk. So, most days, not every day, but most days, I do my best to get in 10,000 steps a day, really tracking it, paying attention to it. Now, during those 10,000 steps, there is a park near where I live, and I'll go to that park and I'll walk around the track until I get those 10,000 steps. Now, one of the things that I do when I'm on this walk is that I'm talking to God. I remember when I was in college, even before college, I would walk in our neighborhood. My job was walking the dogs. So I would walk the dogs in the neighborhood. And that whole time I'm walking the dogs, I'm talking to God. I'm talking to God. I'm, getting instruction and faith and all that kind of stuff. So when I get to college, I start doing the same thing. There was a practice field where our football team, when I was in college, would practice, but there was a track around it. And I would take time to walk around this track, okay? So this God walk is an extension of those experiences in my life already. So what happens in the God walk? Well, when you're walking and you're talking to God, you're actually having a conversation. When I walk, I would ask questions and get those answers. I would maybe have an issue and then get those answers, all during the God walk. You see, when you start to treat God more like he's with you, that God is with you, God wants you to win, God is beside you, God is giving you instruction, then it's easier to hear. But if you treat God like God is way out there somewhere and you got to beg him to come to where you are, or you have to perform something to get him to pay attention or get God to pay attention, if that's where you are, that's where I was, then it's always a challenge to try to figure out, is God speaking to me? What does his voice sound like? What is he saying? All those things. However, if you take this God walk, when you're taking this God walk and you say something like, well, God, how can I expand my business? Show me how to expand my business. And then immediately ideas start coming to you. That's God speaking to you. Or in your business, or even in your ministry, you're doing something and it just does not seem to be working. Then you take that to God during your God walk. God, what are you saying? Why is this not working? And if it's something I'm not supposed to be doing right now, show me something different so I can start doing that thing. And then you start paying attention. Again, now, y'all, I keep telling you about your thoughts and paying attention to what you're thinking. The thoughts that are coming in, the words that you are using, all these things. So in the God walk, you get an opportunity to strengthen that relationship between you and God. As well, you get to learn the voice of God. Now, I've been married for, at the time of this recording, I've been married for 31 years, okay? Married 31 years, been with my wife for 34 years, okay? I can walk into my house and maybe not have spoken to her and look at her face and tell there's something going on. I can hear her voice over the phone and tell there's an issue, there's something going. So how did I get that way? I got that way because I've spent time with her. We have communicated. We've talked. I know some of the things she likes, some of the things she doesn't like. I know what gets on her nerve and all those things. I'm able to do that based upon a relationship, okay? So if you have been so-called in the way, like I used to say way back in the day, in the way, then you should know when you know God is speaking to you. You should know it based upon your relationship. So if you've been, so-called with God for years, and you still question whether or not you know his voice, that speaks to your relationship. So this God walk is an attempt and a technique, a method, a strategy whereby you can learn more or strengthen that relationship with God. So you have no doubt when you hear or when you know God is speaking to you. Okay. So your actionable step, next step, based on this video, I want you to go out. It could be at a track. It could be at a park. It could be somewhere. And I want you to record yourself doing your God walk. Now, you don't have to tell me what's being said, but at least let me see your feet walking around a track or walking around the park or walking around in your yard, maybe even walking around your house. I don't know. I want to be able to see that you are making these steps to strengthen your connection to God. Because in that God walk, you're going to get ideas, you're going to get strategies, you're going to get methods, you're going to get tools. All these things are going to happen in your God walk. So I want to see those videos. Put that video in Discord so I can take a look at it and make sure and see how you are using this particular tool. All right? Many blessings to you. I look forward to seeing your God walk videos. All right. Peace.